babize bonke bazobona senzani. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you. Compliments of the new year. I am your boy, Kabo Vovo, aka Vavelihle, the big jet Kupela. Happy Sunday to you. It is a Sunday, the 16th of January 2022. A very brand new show of Ivovo Talk. We are back in your space like we promised you last year that we would be back indeed. Sibuyile ngamandla, sibuyile sisho njengayo iTKZ imisho kule ngoba yamnandi kakhulu ukuthi babiza bonke bazobona senzane. Sithi biza abangani bakho ke njengamanje babize memeza bonke abangani bakho babize bazobona senzane. Siyenza lento njengoba sashilo unyaka ophelile ukuthi sobuya sizoyenza lento. Ivovo lento, Ivovo Talk lento siyenza lento bafethu sesibuyile. We are back in your space. Njengamanje I know ukuthi most of you basibuka through their phones, but njengamanje I know futhi ukuthi abanye benu basebenzisa amafoni nga2. Ngicela uthathe le ifoni ke le ongayisebenzisi kakhulu njengamanje, uyithathe usendele umngani wakho, usendele isihlobo sakho, usendele umfowenu, usendele isithando sakho, usendele othandiwe wakhe message, umtshela ukuthi hayibo vuka wena sekunjalo sengenile Ivovo on Cover of YouTube channel, sengenile Ivovo, sihamba ngaloshunu ke kulonyaka, sihamba ngomushuni all this time with Ivovo Talk bese busy sifudumeza lenqola, sifudumeza engine lenqola. Manje engine sifudumele, manje sesiyahamba, manje sipusha ngomushuni, manje sipusha ngeligiya, manje sayinyathela lemoto iyahamba lento. Ungasali ngoba wasala manje bambelela siyajika, wasala manje usele. So wenza sure ukuthi if ubungaka subscribe kule show, make sure that you do subscribe and make sure that awumiswa ilutho, because this year 2022 is going to be the year for you. It's going to be the year in this show last corner sizonika izinto ezinamandla, izinto eziphilisayo, izinto ezokuthatha zikubeke la uyakhona. Ngenze ukuthi u2021 zinika izinto ezenzekile wena ezishayile, kodwa sisho njengebhola masiphonsa ibhola phansi ukuthi you will bounce back son. So ilento ke soyisho kwena ukuthi we will bounce back, indeed you will bounce back. Sisho ke njengayo izulu engasinele ngibeleni entombini yakafuze ujabulile. Uma wami ngimthanda kakhulu osewayilalela idlu zami elihle, uthi ke uMageba lithatha osemsamo limkhiphele ngaphandle, bese lithathwa ngaphandle limfaka umsamo. Izulu ke leso akusho mina. Bese ethi ke uSjava uJabulani umfoka Hadebe insizwa yase Bergville imicula lapha engomeni zayo ezinhle kakhulu, ezimnandi kakhulu, engiyithanda kakhulu. Ithi Linda, ithi masingakafika isikhathi sakho Linda, ungashisa impepho emsamo, uthethisa amadlozi, uthethisa umuntu omdala emsamo, ukwenze konke, kodwa isikhathi sakho masingakafiki uthini uSjava umfoka Hadebe uthi Linda. Nathi ke sisho kanjalo ukuthi Linda, kodwa usalindile na indaba enkulu esincatha phezukwayo namhlanje kule show yeVovo Talk ukuthi ekulindeni kwakho wenzani, uyazazini, ngabe uyazazini wena ngoba indaba ingawe ukuthi uyazazini wena, ngoba abantu bangasho into eziningi and abantu bezohleza besho into eziningi ezibhlungu, ezimnandi, ezithandekayo, engathandeki, ezisabisayo, ezinjanjani. Bazosho kanjalo abantu kuwena, bahleze besho izinto ezibhlungu, kodwa kubalekile ukuthi wena umuzibuka, uzibheka, ukhuluma nawe, uthini kubantu ngawe, uthini kuwena ngawe. Ngoba kubaleke kakhulu, akubalekile ukuthi uthini kubantu ngawe, kodwa kubalekile ukuthi uthini kuwena ngawe. Uthi ke uDladla umfoka Mshunqisi, suka madoda, insizwa leya ithi ozuyizwele. Nathi sisho kanjalo ke sithi vuka Mzansi, vuka uvula amehlo, uvula ingqondo, ukuze uzokusiza futhi naloko ukuthi uvuke uvula amehlo, uvula ingqondo, ngoba uzokwazi ukuthi umusokujwayela lokho, ujwayela ukuthi ube alert, because nezitha zakho maseyigadla uzokwazi ukuthi ubone. Kodwa sikho ke lapho sila kwiVovo Talk namhlanje. Uthi uDladla Mshunqisi mekayisho into yakho uthi ozuyizwela. Sisho njalo ke nathi ekseni on the show iVovo Talk sithi ozuyizwela, ungezwa ngabantu ngoba bazokutshela amanga, bazothi ukhaba vuvuthe kanti angishongo kanjalo. Ozuyizwele, biza umngani wakho naye umtshela ukuthi akeze azoyizwela, ngoba uma izwela kulonyaka, uma izwela akekho ozwela omunye, ngoba inkinga inawe yakho lempilo. Enza sure ukuthi ke uyavuka, uvula amehlo, uvula indlebe, ulalele, ngoba sasikhona sengenile iVovo. Wazi ke mfoka baba ukuthi iVovo masengenile alihambi lodwa, lihamba nani, lihamba nento evutshelwe, lihamba nani, lihamba nento ivutshelwe le show. That's why we call it Ivovo Talk. Lento le ivutshelwe le show le, and Ivovo yini umsebenzi weVovo? Umsebenzi weVovo ukuvova, ukusefa, and we make sure that we give you the best, the finest brewed beer. That's why we say this is a brew talk. This is a show, Ivovo Talk, where we talk about everything else and we leave nothing unattended. I am indeed your boy Kabavovo, aka Vavelihle, the big jet Kubela. Sizoyevisi ngafishane, and from then sizongena with topic of the day, uyizwela ukuthi on this beautiful morning, Sunday morning, on the very first show of Ivovo Talk in 2022, which is Patelini, ukuthi uzosizakala kanjani. Hlala ngana swela, ungayindawo, we'll be right back. It's up. Happy Sunday, welcome back. We are back. We are at that time of the show. Nangekudabula khona ngeverse. Yebo baba, naku 2022 iverse lisasekhona. Sikushaya ngalo iverse likaMshumayeli ngoba iverse ilona lesiphilisayo ukudla komphefumulo. If it is your birthday, happy birthday to you. And if you are going through a hard time, sithi kuwe qina ntwana. Impilo injalo inama ups and down kodwa kuzolunga. If you have lost a loved one, usemakhandeleni, usemanzini amnyama, siyakhuleka ukuthi uNkulunkulu akunikeza amandla aqinise nakulesikhathi uqine, and then ube strong, and then uzodlula. Kunzima kona ngiyazi, because I've been where you've been, and kunzima kodwa with time isikhathi will heal you, and because isikhathi is very important. So qina mntaka baba, uqine uNkulunkulu nawe. If it's your birthday, celebrate kahle, and uNkulunkulu akubusise as you're starting a new journey on this day, on your birthday, uqhubeke phambili. Isikhathi sevesi ke manje on Ivovo Talk, and ngizokushaya amavesi awu2, and then emva kwaloko sizwa ku-topic yethu. Elokuqala ivesi is found in the book of Matthew chapter 16, sizofunda uverse 15. La uJesu ublomene ingagala zakhe, amajita akhe, abafundi bakhe, uyababuza ukuthi kulamavesi angaphambili, uyababuza ukuthi la indaweni abantu meberinga, amajita ringa nangamla, bathini abantu la ukhwayiskemp ukuthi ama-cherry, ama-out, ama-time, ama-oledi bakukhuluma ngami, kuringwa ngami la endaweni kuthiwani kahle ngami, yabo. Hayi bamphendula ke olontuzana, ubani lo mphendula eqala? Bamphendula bathi we son of man, and all those, John the Baptist, Elijah, and all those things. Ivesi ke ngifuna ukugijima ngekulona ngenxa yesikhathi ngoba kulona isonto leli ngishanje ngevesi ukuthi sifoundate ilontuzana topic yethu njengoba hleze senza. Kodwa if you are, by the way, while I'm there, if you are on the way to church, I hope umfundisi uzokwenza izinto ezenza ukuthi izinto uvuselele uenjoy manje ngesontweni, yabo, ujive, yabo, kube mnandi izinto zakhona. Ungathi uye esontweni kube ngathi uhudula inyawo, ngathi uyesibhedlela uyagula ini kube mnandi ube indawo la orichurch khona uvuselele khona. But ngilanga ngikhona ku verse 15 in the book of Matthew chapter 16 verse 15 uthi, but what about you, he asked, who do you say I am? Ngiyanizwa majida, ngiyanizwa ikhokho. Ngiyangiphendula nithini, John the Baptist, what Messiah, what. Nina-ke izinja zami engiphila nani, nithini babenibuza ngami ukuthi lo mjida wenu ini babenibuza ngami nithini, nithi ngubani mina? Lesibili ivesi lokugcina engishaya ngalo so understand ukuthi why. I'm sure but usuya-understand, usayithola lento efica ne ukuthi sikhuluma ngani kahle. Naza lokugcina ivesi okushaya ngalo lesibili lithi Genesis 1 verse 31, God saw all that he made, and it was very good. And there was evening and there was morning the sixth day. But it didn't remember that he saw all that he made, and it was very good. Wathi uNkulunkulu eqaleni mufunda lapha Genesis wathi asenze umuntu ngomfanekiso wethu asifuze. So watheke kuleli verse leli bese kwenza konke akwenzile wathi damn, yes says man, inhle lento engiyenzile man. So God called you great. So now ke zibize great. Yes sis, Ivovo lento inhle man lento. Njengoba uNkulunkulu asho kuwena wathini? Wathi yes sis, inhle lento. You are great son. Hlala nathi ukushaya topic and then sivalele zonke and say happy Sunday to you. Welcome back. Happy Sunday to you. It is the Sunday, the 16th of January 2022, the very first Sunday of Ivovo Talk, the very first edition. And the show of Eve of Talk on this year 2022. I hope you will enjoy Londuzana show yanamhlanje. I hope December holiday and everything that you did in Kahle and everything, you are back in Semenzini, you are back in Makaya, you are back in Kolini, wherever you are, and you are back safe and sound and energetic with umfuto or ateka lo 2022 and when the show ukuthi uyasucceed kuyona. Into esikhulumayo ke namhlanje itopic yethu yokuqala onyakeni njengoba wazi ukuthi la kwi Vovo Talk isikhathi esiningi sidila nawe, because abantu bangenza yonke into abayenzayo basho konke abakushoyo, kodwa kubalekile umuntu obaleke kakhulu empilweni yakho uwena, obaleke kakhulu uwena. If you get yourself right, then everything shall be right. Ukuthi abanye abantu benzani bathini ini as long as wena you are right with yourself and you are right when everything is right. It's quite a very straightforward and a simple topic, but umuyithatha kancane izokubhayizisa, but if uzoyifunda ulalele uzosizakala and wenze sure ukuthi uyakhula. The topic of today esikhuluma ngayo namhlanje ithi, who do you say you are? Who do you say you are? Into engifuna uyibambeke la uyi-underline kakhulu engizogxila kuyona kakhulu ngenxa yesikhathi is the who. Kulo who le iziningi izinto eziqukethwe lapho phakathi esikhona lapho phakathi. Ngizokufundela some notes that I made and as I prepared the show, and ngizochaza there and there. I'm not going to be very long, don't worry. Bambelela ungasali. If akambiza umngane wakho enza sure ukuthi uyambiza umngane wakho, uyamema, wenza sure ukuthi uyayizwa le message. If akekho available manje, wenza sure ukuthi uyamsendela ilink yale show and wenza sure ukuthi uyasubscribe naye, nawe uyasubscribe ukuze ungaphuthelwa walala wasala, because kulo nyaka sihamba ngumshoni, sihamba ngelinye igiya, walala wasala. Ungasali bambelela wena, isisukile lenqola, isiyahamba lenqola, isuka kanje. Ithi, who do you say you are? In most it mostly matters to who you are. It mostly matters to you, who do you say you are, more than it matters to people, as people will always have different opinions about you. Abantu bazohleza benama opinion amaningi ngawe, bazohleza besho okuthize ngawe, that is standard. Whether wenza kahle wenza kabi, abantu bazohleze besho okuthize ngawe. And the toughest thing esinayo empilweni, the very biggest challenge esinayo empilweni is the challenge of removing izinto abantu abashoyo kithi. And okubuhlungu kakhulu ukuthi abanye bethu kunezinto ezashiwo besabancane at a very young age, when you are 5 or 6 or 7, ezinye zishiwo abantu bathandayo, that are close to your heart, bekutshela ukuthi wena, ezinye zishiwo abazali bakho bekutshela ukuthi wena ngeke uzube yilutho, ngeke ukulungele ilutho, uyisiphuphuku, ini uhlanya, uyisilima, bekubiza ngawo wonke lamagama. Kodwa kubalekile ukuthi after all that have been said and done, wena, what do you say? Who do you say you are? Sebekubiza ngomthakathi, bakubiza ngani, bakubiza ngohlanya, bakubiza ngesilima, bakubiza ngayo yonke into abakubiza ngayo, bakubiza ngesiduphunga, bakubiza ngonwabu, bakubiza ngayo yonke into abakubiza ngayo abantu le. Kodwa wena kubalekile ukuthi wena egcineni, who do you say you are? Ake sigxileke kulo who, and kulo W lapha ku who, and kulo W kuno where, because isikhathi esiningi abantu basibiza ngezinto ezithize because of where we've been in our lives. Lalela ke lento ukhaba Vova kubhalele yona kuma notes akhe. Where our lives are surrounded by the way. We all have the way that we come from, the way that we are in now, and the way that we are going to. Our ways has a tendency of confusing us into believing that's all we are. So omunye nomunye unowe wakho la wakwakhona empilweni yakho. You've got a dark side that you've been in. You've got a west side that you've been in your life. Ula ukhona namhlanje kunala uyakhona. Do you understand? So be careful ukuthi your ways in your who, in this who, which it will affect mentally and emotionally in terms of defining who you are. When I understand ukuthi ubani, your way that time and your way now and your way la uyakhona doesn't define you, because when you are great. Kulo W as well, kuno when. Ithinto la ku when. Our whens are full of different incidents, good and bad, that happens in our lives. Some of them, they take away precious people and precious things that we have conformed ourselves to an extent that somehow convince ourselves that the true definition of who we are is all that we have lost. As a result, we tend to lose ourselves and the understanding and the meaning of who we are. Usually those losses label us with names that the society has created for people in our whens. Omunye nomunye ne-when yakhe. It's a lento, when I lost my parents, I became an orphan. When I lost my assets, I became broke. When I broke up with my wife, I became a divorcee. When I didn't succeed in my project, I became a failure. As much as these labels are true, as per the definition of our whens by the society, the power still, underline that and understand that the power still remains to who we say we are, especially to ourselves. Kuyenzeka ukuthi empilweni uzithola usesikhathini esithize, that is your when. Your when kuyenzeka ukuthi ulahlekelwe your loved one, ulahlekelwe your parents, ulahlekelwe, maybe you're once a businessman, a very successful businessman, due to COVID or due to whatever reasons. Maybe it's your own mistakes, maybe it's life itself, or whatever happened. You lose certain stuff, you lose certain people in your life, you lose business partners, you lose people that were loyal and were faithful to you, and due to passing on, and you lose loved ones, ababathanda, and all those things. And due to all these things, the society inamagama esilabele ngawo ukuthi intandane le, umfelokazi lo, ubroke lona, idivorcile, ulwatha lo, basibiza ngonke amagama. Like I said, mangiqala isho ukuthi basibiza ngonke amagama abantu lawa basilabela ngawo ngenxa yani, ngenxa ye-when yethu. But into engifuna uyi-understandela ukuthi i-when yakho awupheleli kuyona. I-when yakho njengamanje, njengoba yesterday was the past, but also bengisakuyizolo, izolo was the present, namhlanje is the present, but kusasa on Monday, this day on Sunday, is going to be the past of my life. Injalo impilo. So ungavumeli ama-whens akho akudefine, because akakudefine, but ama-whens akho izimo zempilo esidlula kuzo ezisizayo ukuthi zisakhe, zisiqinise, zisithathe, zisise kwenye indawo. Kodwa kubaluleke kakhulu ukuthi whatever the labels that the life and the society have given us, at the end of the day, it's all about ukuthi wena, who do you say you are? And then kulo W, kuno what. And what, yo, bafethu, I'm gonna try and you know, what to call, summarize this ngenxa yesikhathi. But actually this one, your what, we can have a seminar or all those things. But what kulo W ka who is a very, very what you call difficult question. What is the biggest question and mostly the toughest question we asked, and we get to be asked, and we ask ourselves? Like, for example, what do you do? What do you have? What do you own? What do you bring? What are you going to do? Especially this one, what are you going to do? Here's the thing, understand that these whats don't and shouldn't define you, as in most cases they are conditional based on who is asking them, with what motive, of which some they use this question as a weapon to destroy others. Understand, it is absolutely, understand this thing, perfect. I cannot emphasize this enough. Understand, it is absolutely okay to have nothing as an answer. As an answer to this question. as often out of nothing usually comes something. It is also absolutely okay not knowing what are you going to do, because that opens you up into discovering most things that you can improve your understanding and definition of yourself. Just remember, the biggest what that you owe an answer to is your what, and the answer should be dominated by who do you say you are. So abantu bazokubuza imibuzo eminingi, bazokubuza sometimes imibuzo abakubuza yona, they can't even answer those questions for themselves. Lo what abakubuza wona nabo abakwazi ukuphendula for impilo zabo, but they are so lastar bayaphapha bagijimela wena bazokubuza ukuthi, hey, what does this guy drive? Where does this what does this guy have? What car does this guy drive? What type of a job is this guy doing? What type of business is this person doing? Umwehlelwa yinkinga bekubona ukuthi usenkingeni bese beyagijima bethi, what are you going to do now? Since kunje, what are you going to do now? Abakubuzi because of bafuna ukusiza or they're gonna come with help, but bakubuza because of bafuna ukwehlisa isithunzi baqede ngawe and all those things. So be careful in things like that. Ukuthi in your who, because the understanding of who you are izokusiza ukuthi ube strong. Wazi ukuthi kunama whens, kunama where, kunama what empilweni yakho ozobhekana nawo. Kodwa lawo ma what nama wheres nama whens akakudefine, because omunye nomunye into eyinkinga lemhlabeni sonke sinenkinga. Akekho umuntu perfect, but we're going to touch that towards the end of the show. Akekho umuntu perfect, sonke sidlula into edlula kuzona, kodwa okubalekile ukuthi sizazi ukuthi singobani thina. Sebekusho konke bakulabela on your way, on your what, on your whens, but okubalekile ukuthi wena, who do you say you are? We're going to take a short break, and after that we're going to come back. And after that we're going to come back, Sukshan Mama Point of Funyana, and then we're going to wrap up the show and say happy Sunday to you. Don't go anywhere.
This is Kabavovo YouTube channel, your home of the Son of Hope. You don't have to do this life alone, because your boy Kabavovo, aka Ivovo, Elite, the Big G at Gobela, got your back. On Ivovo Talk every Sunday morning on this channel, Kabavovo YouTube channel.
Welcome back. Happy Sunday to you. I hope you did enjoy our short break, and now we'll tell you something isiphuzunyana lapho ukuthi ukwazi ukuthi wehlise ukoma and ukwazi ukuthi uqhubeke ulalele kahle udaba lethu. We are talking about who do you say you are, because abantu basho into eziningi ngawe empilweni yakho, bakugxeka ngamagama, bakubiza ngamagama amahle amambi anjani, kodwa ekugcineni kubalekile ukuthi wena uthini ngawe. Ngisadlula lapho, if kukhona i-product oyipromotayo and kune product onayo mhlawumbe ofuna ukuthi sit-advertisele la yona la Ivovo Talk, you are more than welcome ukuthi get in touch with me, and then sizokwazi ukuthi sit-advertisele yona and sikhulisane siqhubeke siphambili as indlu emnyama, as abantu abamnyama. Sizoshaya ama-point awu-2 manje ogcina bese ngishaya i-closing statement bese siyayivala lezozo, siyakuqopha lezozo and say happy Sunday to you. I hope you're good and mnandi la ukhona. You're still hanging out with myself, your boy Kabavovo, aka Vovodisha, the Big G at Kupela. Lana ke kuhu kuno H uthi how. How is the most confusing question that we struggle to answer? How is the most confusing question that we struggle to answer? How did I get there? How did I do that? How on earth did I do that? How could this happen to me? How didn't I see this coming? How do I move forward? I think that is also a most toughest question. How do you move forward? Confusing as it may be, but how reminds us of who we are, and that who we are is a version that is not immune to upgrade and migration. It also reminds us that we are perfect in our imperfections, and we all don't have it all figured out, but we are all in the mercy of time, as that with time usually comes the most answers that we need in life. And mostly the answer that you need in your life, it is you. You are your own answer. So don't be too depressed. Don't be too stressed. Don't frustrate yourself about this how. Omunye nomunye une-how yakhe. Now and again in life sonke, like ngisho ukuthi akekho nomuntu ongambona ngathi ugrand empilweni. That means I come into your space and motivate you and encourage you and say all these things. Not because I've got it figured it out, I've got it all together. Now I'm house that I'm asking myself, how on earth did I do this? How on earth did I get here? How on earth I didn't see this coming? How do I move on of it? That is the most what you call important thing. But uzoza ukuthi how do you move on? Mangishaya my closing statement and ezokusiza okubaluleke kakhulu. So ungavumeli your how and ungavumeli abantu basebenzise how who you say you are ukuthi ikufrustrate and ikudefine and nawe ugcine usuzibona and usuzibiza njengale ndlela abantu abakubiza ngayo. The very last point, and then from then ngizoshaya with my closing statement and say qopha lezo and say happy Sunday to you and uqhubeke nesonto lakho wenze izinto ozithandayo. I hope you're still enjoying the show and I hope I'm making sense into you and helping you in terms of understanding ukuthi kubaluleke kangakanani the who in who do you say you are ibaluleke kangakanani, because the who yona define everything. Bangakusho konke bakupende ngawo wonke upende kodwa kubalulekile ukuthi wena imuphi upende othandayo, imuphi upende ufuna ukuyipenda ngawo, imuphi upende odefine wena. But ngizokutshela on our closing statement ukuthi lo upende uthola kanjani, wazi kanjani ukuthi right. Kuno O letha ukugcina la ku O, obsession. Mostly our definition of who we say we are is motivated and dominated by unnecessary obsession of being accepted, mostly by people that even don't care about us, whereas the obsession should be with accepting ourselves. Mostly our definition of who we say we are is motivated and dominated by unnecessary obsession of being accepted, mostly by people that don't even care about us, whereas the obsession should be with accepting ourselves. Isikhathi esiningi njengabantu silwela ukuthi sibe accepted, bakuvuma abantu bak-accepte in a certain group emsebenzini, in a community, bakuvume all those things. One of the things engiyishoyo ku-2022 ukuthi live a simple life. Simplicity is the key ku-2022. Khohlwa abantu, ungafuni ukuvunywa abantu because uzozifrustrata, uzoba obsessed ngezinto ezirong. Khohlwa ile obsession. Obsession, or should be obsessed ngayo, is you accepting yourself. Zivume wena and be at peace, man, with what you have and with who you are. Be at peace with who you are and what you have. Khohlwa abantu, khohlwa izinto eziseceleni. Concentrate ekuthenini wena, accept yourself. Ungabe obsessed ngezinto ezirong. Simplicity and solution is the key. The solution empilweni yakho ithini? Be simple, live a simple life, and ukhohle abantu, wena, accept yourself. We have came at the end of the show. La ngishaya khona nge-closing statement. Hopefully ngicela kahle le-closing statement, because all these where's, when, what, how, and all the answers that you, and all the questions that you're having in your life, the answer ilele la kule nto engizoyisho manje, and izokusiza futhi in terms of understanding how do you define who you say you are, and understanding how to define wena yourself. Nansi into yami ithi, you are great with your confusion, misunderstanding, you're not knowing, and your all imperfections. You are still great. Your bad past and all the things that were said to you, and some that are still being said, and probably there will always be said about you, they don't define you. What defines you is He who made you. He calls you great, and therefore your understanding and definition of yourself with regards to who you say you are should be aligned with his definition of you. He is God, you are great. Hashtag you're the boss. Salute by Kabavov. Let me repeat that for you. You are great with your confusion, misunderstanding, your not knowing, and your all imperfections. You are still great. Your bad past and all the things that were said to you, and some are still being said, and probably they will always be said to you, will always be said about you. But however, they don't define you. What defines you is he who made you. He calls you great, and therefore your understanding and definition of yourself with regard to who you say you are should be aligned with his definition of you. He is God, and you are great. Hashtag you are boss. Salute by Kabavov. This is where we come in and we wrap up the show. My friend, to all that I came to tell you and to say, it sounds simple, the topic of today, but if you will understand that it's the things that we struggle with in Bilweni, and this is a very, very important thing, because you're moving forward in this year, goals, ambitions, and everything that you want to do. To understand these things, because abantu bazothi becabanga ukuthi wenzani kunento project ozoyiqala this year, mhlawumbe uzofeyila kuyona, or mhlawumbe ngezihambe ngendlela ofuna ukuthi uhambe ngayo, kunento umsebenzi ozoqala, kunesikole ozosiqala. There's so many things that you're going to do obungazenzanga last year. Abantu bazoza bashaya ngama-hands, ngama-hearts, ngama-house, ngayo yonke lento bakujitshele zonke izinto abayijitshelayo kuwena. But understand this thing ukuthi why wenza lento oyenzayo, why uyiqalile, and more than above, understand who you are. And uNkulunkulu uthe sekwenze konke, wathini? Wathi damn it, like I showed DK, wathi damn it, wathi uNkulunkulu, damn, this is good, this is great. You are great, Ntwana, you are great. Never, no matter what life can bring to you, no matter what you can lose, no matter what can happen, no matter what people can say to you, and you are great. The definition of who do you say you are should be aligned with God, who God say you are, because he made you, and all the answers to your questions on now uzoyithola lapho. Now you can ungenzele yona. Like I always say when I come into your space, I am a boy Kabavova, aka Vavelihle, the big G at Gubela, intombi zomcela ukhisi, insizwa yasembo, ikamandla enkosi ingane le ungux ngokuhlulela ukuthi yini ingulube ngesingisi. Zonke lezo yini izibongo zami. Uma ungenazi izibongo, zama ukuthi wakhe izibongo zakho, or wakhe something that defines you, because every time you come into other people's spaces uzokhuluma nabo or babingelela isho lezo zinto lezo, because lezo zinto they motivate you in terms of ukuzazi ukuthi ubani. And njoba ngisho ukuthi ngiyase insizwa yasembo le, noma bangathini bathini, angizothatha abancane nabafana ezinsizwa ngezindelele, ngoba mina ngiyazazi ukuthi ngugcwabe ngungunezi ngugubhela ngomavovo yasembo lensizwa le. So omavovo ngebavuma ukuthi ivovo elihle uKhabavovo, the big G Gubela izodlala abanye abafana or izodlala abanye abantukazana empilweni, zazi zihloniphe zibekele. Abanye bathini bathi uyasitshela, yazi njani, zitshele ntwana, uyiniwe yimini imvumo, zitshele, you know ugqoke leyasuthi yakho, ugqoke lento oyigqokayo. You know, that's another thing as Oxiza. I'm wrapping up. I'm gonna say happy Sunday to you. That's another thing as Oxiza in terms of defining who you are. You don't have to wear expensive stuff. If una imali, ungayigqoka into ebizayo, all those things. But into ebalekile do the things that improves and encourage your courage and your personality. Ugqoke uzibheke esibukeni uthi damn man, I look good. Yabona le out le i-grand. Ujwayele into enkanjalo because lezo zinto lezo zizokusiza in terms of when awenzela omunye umuntu kodwa wenzela wena to enhance yourself. Uzibuke uthi yeah, bona ngimuhle, gqoke kahle, nuka kamnandi, i-weekend Sunday ungangiphandisana, ingane zithini lapho, umabhekeza bakhala ngawe and all those things. Enza izinto that is going to motivate and izo generator self-esteem kuwe ukuthi uzazi ukuthi ubani. This is where I come in and say happy Sunday to you. This is where I come in and say ngiyancanywa son, even this year on 2022 ngiyancanywa son, ngigcwele ngawe all the time, ulasan. If you can't be good, be bad, baby. And next week we are coming, in the coming 2 weeks, we're coming with powerful, informative information that is going to help you in terms of starting a business or whatever things that you're doing. Uzozo and which is next week. If come kahle, we're going to have a guest that is going to taking us through all those things. Sikwazi ukuthi sizakale, sibambisane, sikhulisane, siphambili. Vuka mntomnyama, vuka mntomnyama, vuka mntomnyama, mvuka uyithathe. 2022 lo unyaka omusha, ivovo talk lingenile, ivovo talk libuyile. Vuka uvula amehlo, uvula indlebe ulalele ukuze ukwazi ukuthi usizakale. Ngoba usizakala kanjalo empilweni ngokuvula amehlo, ngokuvula indlebe ulalele. Uzokuthize lapha ongakusiza ukubambe, ukusebenzise and run with it. Ungabsalala, ungabsasala. Subscribe if you haven't, and then tell your friends to subscribe as well. Babiza bonke bazobona senzani ngoba siyayenza lento. Salute, cheers, we out. Bye.